Hello, and welcome back to another episode of Critical Reactions with your host, Brian. This is Monday, which means we're starting a new theme, new week, Random Rumble! That's right, we're doing Random Rumble this week, which means we're going to get 5 songs that have nothing to do with each other, and, well, I'm going to say they're all very odd. Not things that would usually get picked for the channel, but seeing as we have over 1,100 bands requested on the spreadsheet, a lot of stuff wouldn't normally get picked up for themes, and we ended up getting quite a few of those showing up in the Random Rumble poll. So, strap in for a week of stuff that is probably a bit outside the wheelhouse of the channel. Maybe it's just stuff that is a bit rarer, some hidden gems, but I think we're going to get some good stuff. Now, as you probably saw from the title, we're going to have Kendrick Lamar in today. This is going to be some hip-hop. The song is called King Kunta, and yeah, let's get into it. Let's see what's going on with this.
I got a bone to pick. I don't want you monkey mouth motherfucker sitting in my throne again. I'm mad, but I ain't stressing.
Lots of bass presence right here.
One question, bitch, where you and I was walking. Now I run the game, got the whole world talking. King Kunta, everybody wanna cut the legs off him. Kunta, black man taking no losses. Oh yeah, bitch, where you and I was walking. Now I run the game, got the whole world talking. King Kunta, everybody wanna cut the legs off him. When you got the yams, what's the yams?
So we got
the yam is the power that be.
Yeah, so the bass is walking with a lot of quarters with some eights thrown in.
I could dig rapping, but a rapper with a ghost rider. What the fuck happened? Oh no! I swore I wouldn't tell.
Interesting how often he starts his lines on the offbeat.
Something's in the water. Something's in the water. And if I got a brown nose for some gold, then I'd rather be a bum than a motherfucking bum. Oh yeah. Bitch, where you and I was walking. Now I run the game, got the whole world talking. King Kunta, everybody wanna get the legs.
So we brought back this section with the sparse synth line.
Now I run the game, got the whole world talking. King Kunta, everybody wanna cut the legs off. When you got the yams, the yam brought it out of Richard Pryor.
So we have a slow build.
Manipulated Bill Clinton with desires. 24/7, 365 days times 2. I was contemplating getting on stage just to go back to the hood, see my enemy and say, oh yeah. Bitch, where you and I was walking. Now I run the game, got the whole world talking. King Kunta, everybody wanna cut the legs off. King Kunta, black man taking no losses. Oh yeah. Bitch, where you and I was walking. Now I run the game, got the whole world talking. King Kunta, everybody wanna cut the legs off.
Goat mouth mammy fucker.
I was gonna kill a couple rappers, but they did it to themselves. Everybody's suicidal, they didn't even need my help. This shit is elementary, I'd probably go to jail if I shoot at your identity and bounce to the left. Stuck a flag in my city, everybody screaming Compton, I should probably run from here.
It's interesting the rhythmic elements that are different from this verse to the last.
20 million walking out the court, better whoa whoa. Oh yeah, fuck the judge, I made it past 25, and there I was, a little nappy-headed nigga with the world behind him. Life ain't shit but a fat vagina, screaming, Annie, are you okay? Annie, are you okay? Limo tinted with the gold plate, straight from the bottom, it's the belly of the beast, from a peasant to a prince to a motherfucking king. Oh yeah, bitch, where you and I was.
By the time you hear the next pop, the funk shall be within you.
Now I run the game, got the whole world talking. King Kunta, everybody wanna cut the legs off. King Kunta, black man taking no losses. Oh yeah, bitch, where you and I was walking. Now I run the game, got the whole world talking. King Kunta, everybody wanna cut the legs off.
So the song is cut off at the line, cut off. Interesting. Well, just like when we checked out a couple of the other hip hop based songs in the past, I going to preface this that I am not 100% uh, completely comfortable with analyzing hip hop music because a lot of the time it is very, very vocal based, and I'm going to say that this is another instance where that is true. And I tend to analyze the musical qualities of a song, usually eschewing the vocals because the musical aspects are enough to take up my attention already. Not I don't really have the capacity to listen to a song, analyze all the elements that are going on, and take in the lyrics and figure out all the metaphors and poetic elements that are going into it. Especially since lyrical and poetic analysis is not exactly something that's within my wheelhouse. So when it comes to these hip hop songs, there's not a lot of musical elements going on. A lot of it deals with the vocals and the poetry in the rapping. So unfortunately, I don't feel like I can really add too much often in the discourse of the song. However, I will do what I can, and there are some really interesting things that happen in the music here. If we listen to the rhythmic delivery in the first verse, I think it was the first verse, there's a lot of call and response going on. And I want to say this even might have popped up in the second verse, where we had the rapper basically say one sentence, and then we had an interjection. It might have been um, a repeat of what he said in a different voice. It could be another line that adds to it, but done in a different texture or timbre or voice. Um, and there's this constant sort of breaking up the flow of Kendrick's delivery. However, that second, I mean, the third, I think it was the third verse came around, and it was just constant. There were no breaks. There was a lot more complexity in the delivery. We saw some more 16th notes where we hadn't seen them prior. The first two verses were very straight delivery, lots of quarter and eighth notes, like I said, mixed in with the call and response. Some more words and syllables were held out. So it was more of a, in a musical sense, I would say it's more legato-y. It's more drawn out and more like natural speech, I would say. Whereas the last two verses were rhythmically heavy. We saw less breaks taken between words. We saw syllables held out for less time, and just a more amount of syllables and notes being hit per second or per minute, I guess would be a better way of saying that. And it was interesting for me to hear this massive rhythmic shift happen right there in the middle of the track. We also saw up until probably about the same midpoint there a constant escalation of layering, where we started out very basic at the beginning with drum and bass. We added in a synth line that was very sparse, quarter notes, I think it was, with a bit of a the notes chosen had a lot of uh not creepy energy, but unsettling energy. There's definitely some dissonance at play there. And then, of course, then we brought in sort of the foundational. I don't remember if they were chords or if they were just held out notes that were played underneath the the sparse line, the sparse quarter notes prior. And it added a little bit more width to the track, and we just had this constant layering, this gradual growth of the music underneath the vocals. And so yeah, I can't say I've heard that. Admittedly, I don't listen to a lot of hip hop. I have listened to a lot more in the last year or so since starting the channel. We do have some hip hop aficionados or some hip hop fans, I guess, in the critical reaction community, and I have gotten a chance to check out some stuff over the last year, and I do have an appreciation for the craft. It's just it utilizes music in sparser ways than I tend to prefer when I listen. However, we did check out. I don't remember. Oh, Watsky. Watsky. I think that was it. And I appreciated the additional musical elements that were put in underneath the rapping for that one. I don't remember what the song was called though, but I think the rapper was Watsky or Watsky. So like I said, I do appreciate what's going on, even if I don't tend to listen to this type of music. And this is definitely some of the things that I appreciate about hip hop and rap is their rhythmic qualities. However, with that said, like I was saying, I don't think I've heard anything that has that sort of slow burn layering. As the song goes on, it just continues to increase the layers. And I felt like the song was kind of falling apart a bit because, which I understand doesn't go along with the theme. I picked up a few lines here and there, especially with the chorus that continued to come back. And it seems to be about his rise to fame and coming back to his hometown to show it off, something along those lines. So the fact that the song feels like it's falling apart or is being deconstructed, I'm not sure that that really fits into the themes of the lyrics, but I do find it interesting that those are the concepts I took from the music. We had the gradual build up, and then after the halfway point, the build up ended, and we started to see more desperate ideas being added and replacing old ones. We had cuts. Like I said, at that one point where he said something about something being cut off, the music is abruptly cut off and then replaced with the final outro section. Sort of a more subdued outro, a simple beat, and then a heavily repeated line. Um, and yeah, the song seems to get in its own way more often, and it seems to be deconstructing itself in essence. And it's really interesting to see them go about doing that on the engineering side, and really changing the way that the song ends and sort of removing the ending from what was previous with that one cut. And then, like I said, we saw a bunch of desperate sections come in, replacing older ideas that were present in previous verses. So the ending of the song feels very different from the beginning, and it's done so in a way that I don't know. It feels counterintuitive to the themes that are going on, but it could also line up. Maybe this is Kendrick's style, and he's really putting it on full blast here, showing off what has made him so popular, the king, as he puts it in the title of the song, and really cranking it up to 11 and creating a bit of disjointedness there at the end to showcase his style as he comes home to show off his his yams, as was repeated quite a few times. I'm sure there's some wordplay there, but again, vocals are not really my strong suit, and being that vocals aren't my strong suit, I probably should. Well, you know what? Let's pull this up real quick. Just out of curiosity, because I mean we're only 14 minutes into the video. It's kind of a short one, so yeah. See, so I'm on Genius right now. I'm gonna toss this up right here. And first of all, there's just a massive density of lyrics, but I mean, just like every two or three lines has their own what these are. Even this one, the annotation that tells you what's going on in the sentence, what it alludes to and stuff. And like this one, using a line from Jay-Z's "Thank You, this is a callback to another rapper, and this is where really being immersed in the hip hop genre and community really pays off, because I've heard before from people who've tried to help me get into hip hop and explain it, that there's a lot of callbacks to previous featured lines. Maybe maybe Kendrick was featured in as another vocalist in somebody else's song, and he's reusing a line from there, but it's understood in a different context because of the context of that track's theme versus the context of this track he's currently using. And then there's the history. A lot of popular rap songs tend to have lines that correlate to the history that the person might have with somebody else in the industry or somebody else in their life. And there's a lot of historical context to these already dense lyrics that that are already taken on multiple meanings because of the implied poetic nature of them. So yeah, I mean, just this is what I'm talking. There's just so much to take in. Um, Going through a lyrical analysis here is a video entirely on its own, and I hope that some other channel does this and really analyzes lyrics and can be sort of a companion to this one, where I analyzed more of the rhythmic and musical nature of the music behind Kendrick's delivery. So those are my thoughts on Kendrick Lamar's King Kunta. This where you guys come and know. Hit me up in the comments. Let me know what you thought of the song, if you enjoyed it or not, if there's anything I might have missed. I know there's a lot of stuff I missed. And, just looking right here at the Genius, there's definitely a lot of context here that I can get just from looking at this page. But if there's any other context maybe you want to let me in on, maybe even just looking at some of the more central themes or larger, more important lines, I guess, go ahead and drop those comments down there. Above that is a description box if you want to check out any links that are adjacent to the channel, such as the Critical Reactions Twitter page. Maybe you want to join the Discord community and chat with the rest of the community members, or if you'd like to help financially support Critical Reactions through Patreon, all those links are there in the description. Under that is a like, subscribe, and a bell to ring. They help out the channel immensely. I'll be back tomorrow, 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 9 p.m. UTC, with the next song for Random Rumble Week. I really tried to say it normally. It's just, it doesn't work. You really want to hold those R's out. Or at least I do. I don't know. I can go around just shouting that. It's so cathartic. With more random music, though, for the rest of the week. Until next time, remember to be critical and not cynical of the music you listen to, and have a fantastic morning, afternoon, or evening, whenever you choose to watch my videos.